This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, you need to,
Alright.
I think it's a tool for us.
We're
Yeah.
gonna call
Like I
it,
said, things down on my library.
Yeah, but,
we're gonna call the order at 6:02 PM.
we're late.
Monterey Select Board, August 5th. We have all three members of the board present here in Town Hall,
Physically.
physically, and the town administrator. And the first order of business is the special event permit delegation and town administrator. So in a previous meeting, just a few weeks ago, we delegated approval of special event permits to the town administrator. And then Roger,
There was I was actually having a conversation with another town administrator about this, and it came across a concern about the ABCC, which is the alcohol board from Massachusetts. And that the other town administrator thought that they required the select board to say yes to all events that have alcohol. So I reached out to Donna Brewer, town council, and she said that the law, as it states, the Mass General Law, where the select board can't give the town administrator responsibilities, you can basically give them any responsibilities. However, the ABCC kind of looks at it sort of hesitantly. They don't really like that. So she has worked with some other towns, and they have some language that they put together in policy. It really says that the town administrator can approve events that have alcohol, but if the town administrator is not approving an event with alcohol, that the select board actually has to vote on that. So I can say,
Can you repeat that?
I can
That's
say
something
yes.
was weird.
I can say yes, but if I don't want to approve it, it has to go to the select
Okay,
board.
so if you have a question about whether it should be approved, yes, go.
Yeah, so if I'm like, I don't wanna approve
Deny
it,
it, it should
then
be yes.
then it is.
which I think was basically what we had even said, because we said controversial permits should come to the select board. We didn't specify exactly
What
any
was
denials.
controversial, yeah.
But that way, if that ever came up where a permit was denied and the ABCC caught wind of it, it could come back to the select board and that it was duly denied.
Right.
And if it's approved,
Yeah.
there won't be any.
So there's some language that she sent along, which we could turn into a policy, and we could just do that. Just vote.
Well, I can just read it.
Then we can put it
The
in.
select board will delegate the authority to issue special licenses to the town administrator. However, the town administrator shall not deny any license. If the town administrator believes that a denial is warranted, the town administrator shall present the application to the select board for its consideration. The decision of the select board shall be final for purposes of an appeal. The town administrator may also present any other application that the town administrator deems necessary to the select board for its consideration. The decision of the select board in those instances shall be final as well.
Wait, I don't understand what the difference is between, that's an appeal?
For the purposes of an appeal.
Right.
Oh,
If the
it's not
select board
considered that
decision
it's
is
going to be
final.
appealed.
If we deny it,
Right,
that's final.
right.
If
He denies it.
he can't deny
I
it,
can't deny it.
that's basically the whole thing. He
Right.
can't deny it, and he can kick it
That's what I
back.
thought, but the wording was just,
There's no appeal.
right, there's no appeal. Okay,
So it's fairly, basically what we did was just a little change. I'll make that a motion.
second,
We'll call a vote.
yes.
Yes, so that's approved. So don't say no to anybody, Roger.
If you're gonna say no, you have to kick it down.
But you guys don't want it, right?
If it's contentious, we probably. need
Well,
to
yeah,
kick
if
it.
it's contentious, don't put yourself in.
Yeah,
Roger, do you wanna explain the situation with Frank Crotty?
So, just forgot his name,
Tom Beasley.
Tom Beasley, who's in charge of the veterans down here in South County, has been searching for representation for Monterey. We, our representative for the board of directors of the Southern Berkshire Department of Veterans Services left. And so he was searching and searching and searching, and he found Frank Crotty in town here, who said, yes, he would do it. And he said, okay. And So that's where we ended up, at this point right now, where he needs to be appointed, is the assumption.
He's not, I played golf with him, so, he's not a full-time.
Right, he's not a full-time resident, so, but it's not a elected position.
Do we need to have it be a full-time resident? Is there any reason
I
for
don't know.
the veteran services that they care?
The veteran services
Don't
didn't care, no. Tom is just looking for people to represent the community at this point, so, because there really wasn't anybody that was stepping up to do it, so.
Well, I'll move that we appoint Frank Crotty to the board of directors of the Southern Berkshire Department of Veterans Services.
I second the motion.
Any other discussion? Call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Frank. You can thank Frank for
I'll
us.
see him Thursday morning. Out to home.
I've never met him.
Visit his place in northern New Jersey. He still spends a good lot of time up there, semi-retired.
There's a donation to the police department from Susan and Norman Ladov.
So, Norman, I met Susan the other day, a couple weeks ago, actually. Norman, was in a bike accident down on Harmon.
Oh, no.
on Harmon Road. And, everybody showed up, police, fire, ambulance.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. They all showed up, and she wanted a way to say thank you to the different organizations. Tried to help her with that because it was different organizations, she can't give $100 donation to the Monterey Fire Department because it goes nowhere. We don't have that. So she did write a letter. It says, "Dear Monterey Police Department, please accept this donation to your projects fund as a token for your appreciation for the help we received when Norm had a cycling accident last week." This is dated 7/25. "The police officer who came was helpful and supportive to both of us throughout. We are grateful to know that there is help close at hand when the need occurs. Sincerely, Susan and Norman Ladov," and it's a $50 donation.
Nice, that's very thoughtful.
Motion to accept the donation.
Second,
We'll call vote.
yes.
Yes. Thank you for the donation. Transfer station environmental monitoring proposal.
So this one was interesting in that it's a 2-year contract. I know we've kind of gone back and forth about you signing it because it's financial.
Mhm.
It's got, the prices, that's why I thought it was.
Sorry, Jim's name is all over it.
And Jim's name is on it, and Jim's name
Okay,
is
can you
here.
just run by me what this is?
Oh, so this is where they go to the transfer station and they have test pits. And they do the
transfer
testing,
station.
yeah.
To the capped.
To the
Oh, to the closed
to the
landfill.
closed landfill, I'm
It's
sorry,
not for the transfer
I'm sorry,
station.
the landfill,
The
yes.
closed landfill,
Yes.
okay,
Is it capped or closed?
It's closed, it's not capped.
okay. But my point is, it's not actually a transfer station, it's the,
Yes,
Well,
Closed
it's over,
landfill.
the old dump.
yeah,
but that's not a transfer station, it's the
But
whole
it
dump.
says-
Transferred stuff into the ground.
but it says,
I was like, what are they monitoring, the transfer station, that doesn't make any sense, but this makes much more
Yes,
sense.
well,
to me.
it's FY, it regards the FY 2026 and 2027 Monterey landfill / transfer station environmental monitoring,
Okay.
testing and inspection, so. But yes, so it was essentially, it's got Jim's name signed a couple places, and it's financial, and we've always sort of talked about those things being signed by the board, the chair in this case.
Should we be replacing Jim's name?
We can't, we'll just strike it and, because it's only one name, it's just looking for one signature. In this case, we'll assume it's the board chairperson. The first year is.
Not cheap, but I think this is all in the budget for.
Yeah.
And I think it also is
Yeah.
required
Yeah.
or something, what is
It's
it?
a-
I
It's in
think,
property services, I think it's required actually. for-
yeah, because I remember that when I was on the finance committee, we've been doing that for years.
Remember when they were gonna look at doing solar on the landfill, and then they almost took an excavator to do it, so it's so hard for it.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so the first year, so FY,
Like, oh boy.
so FY 26 is $9,800 and FY 27 is 92.
Wait, $9,800
Yeah.
and $9,200?
Yeah,
Why is the
27.
second one cheaper?
Goes down. You have to,
It might be the time.
the fees are projected slightly higher due to recent increases in outside laboratory testing and HAPC standard.
And they're
algorithms.
thinking those will go down in the future?
Well, I think part of it was PFAS, because now they need tests for PFAS too.
But shouldn't that be,
It'd be higher.
I would think it would continue to be high, not.
Don't argue, but.
Don't argue,
I'm
it's
not,
cheaper.
I'm not gonna argue, but it's confusing.
Or to go front page and make up the business.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's that first one there and then the second one.
We gotta do a letter to Sutphen for
Yeah, I had
the
it here.
fire truck.
Maybe at the bottom of that stack of paper that you have there.
Sorry about that, Yoni. I actually think that air, today's got bad air quality.
It actually
It is,
Jeez,
they actually have a warning out for it.
Yeah, I know, and my eyes have been burning all day, but apparently it's also doing something else, because I literally have been like groggy all day, and if there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
It was just a one signature.
So this letter is to Sutphen, Town of Monterey, for the Monterey Fire Department will be purchasing an SWT-01 Sutphen wet side tanker, 4-door, full tilt aluminum cab, extruded aluminum body, single axle, 1,500 gallons per minute, mid-mounted pump from Sutphen Corporation. In an amount of $1,131,261 per the HGACBuy contract number FS1219.
Can someone remind me why we're doing this when we already signed the contract?
This is what we've signed the contract, but this is to inform something that we're using the HGAC as part of it. So-
Okay, part of the
Jim-
process.
Jim Lyons told me, Jim Lyons, who's the representative for, yes, I forget the name of the company, the company that does the kind of the middleman,
Right.
they said that it's just one of the
Okay.
requirements, just to sort of file.
It doesn't bother me, I was just confused, I'm like, the contract's not enough? Okay.
They said usually it's all just part of it.
So the Berkshire Regional Transit Authority rep, I think we had agreed on Frank, but we just gotta fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh, you have it over there?
Yeah, did you fill it out?
No.
Okay, I'll fill it out.
I just printed it out.
Select board.
So you need Justin on one side and you on the other.
By the way, does anybody happen to know of a way to get the projected air quality numbers? Because you can find the current ones, but it won't give you projected ones, not on the weather app, not on weather.com. And not,
The weather.
yeah, probably the National Weather Service, I just
Well,
wondered if anybody.
I don't know if this,
So that gives you the current, it's not UV, it's air quality, and it's, it doesn't look like they have it there.
maybe if you pay for more.
I don't know, they give you current ones,
This
but
is
none
mosquito
of the.
versus hive, but it's just an ad for all.
So this is what the weather app looks like,
Uh-huh.
right, and if you tap into that, it brings up severe weather alert, and you can even go to,
Roger, what's the mailing address here?
Mass.gov.
435?
basically
Yes.
just says the same thing, but it doesn't give you any, like, they don't have like the radar equivalent of
Mhm.
what's gonna happen over the future time, I was
I
just
don't know.
curious if anybody,
What's it from now?
same thing, fires.
Where?
In Canada. It's really bad in Michigan. My
I bet it is.
sister can't even go outside.
I mean, they're saying air quality alert until 12 AM EDT Wednesday, August 6th, but that's what they said yesterday, and then it just extended, like,
And there's no rain in the forecast.
I know, none. It's at 124 now, yesterday, like, day before yesterday was at 50. They're
I
saying
can
a
do that.
shower
Okay.
Thursday, it can't come soon enough, it'll be more than a shower.
I'm the designee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky guy.
They're usually short meetings, it'll just be an interesting year next year, because he's leaving.
Who?
He's retiring,
Okay.
he's a BRT.
Mhm.
Two is I don't think they'll get the federal dollars that they get.
I don't think there's gonna be federal dollars for anything.
I know,
They don't,
well, there is if you want. Hold it, whatever.
only if you own it. There's not gonna be any relief for that either, they want us as poor as they can make us.
If you didn't have state and federal fund, you wouldn't have a bus up there.
I don't-
Until they lost, they buy all the vehicles.
Well, we're not gonna have an education system anyway,
Yeah.
so, we can just have slave labor.
Okay.
I know it.
Council on Aging grant agreement.
So this is an interesting grant. This was something that Lynn found she was able to get, and it benefits the region. It doesn't necessarily specifically benefit us as much as it benefits the region that is working with the South County Connect and all that. So it was a
Okay.
$25,000 grant,
Right,
but they needed somebody to represent the communities to get that grant. And Lynn reached out and was able to get this move this forward. So we just need to sign this and say we're the grantee, the authorizing agent to give the South County Connect people this ability to use this money, which will be used to benefit older adults, generally 60 years of older in the Commonwealth, based upon the project description.
I think it does
So,
affect us, it's just
It
not the
does.
entire.
It's not directly, it's not sort of, it's not, yeah, we're like a host
Community.
community, kind of like the CDGB
Yeah.
money, it's kind of the same thing. So we get it in some form or fashion. But yeah, it was a $25,000 grant that she got.
Nice job, Lynn.
Yeah, so it's just another single sign. There's on the front there where it says agent name title on,
How's
so
your
you just
hand?
put your name and
Is it
title.
there now?
Just need to put name and title there. And then on the back, it's looking for this, basically the same thing on the back.
So we'll just need to go through our, okay, and treasure and sorry.
Yes, yeah. Figure that one out.
I did the signatures if you could get on there.
Yep.
If you could get on there. Alright. Any questions about that before we move on? All set. The Dash contract, the Lake Garfield Committee is asking that we extend the Dash contract for another year.
I have the contract, it's in there, and it says that, I just was looking at it, and it said that that's one of the.
When did we just start this new one last year?
Yeah.
How long was the contract?
And we have 2 1-year options.
It was it's just a 1 year
For
option.
1 year,
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, it was, we did it at the very beginning of the year, I was just looking at it. Let's see.
Michael Germain says, the Lake Garfield Committee recognizes that New England Aquatic Services LLC has had satisfactorily performed their diver-assisted suction harvesting work statement. We therefore recommend that the Dash contract with New England Aquatic Services LLC be extended for 1 additional 12-month period at their current contract rate.
Wow.
Keeping the rate the same.
Yeah, I know.
Take that,
High rate to
take it
begin
quick,
with,
sign
but
that
the fact that you can do it is pretty high for our.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw it a second ago where it said it
The
was
year
just a
six,
1 year, yeah, 1 year. That's what I'm just looking at. That's what I was looking for, I wanted to make sure. Okay.
I have last September Dash contract.
Yeah. Yeah, this was signed, 10/1/24.
That makes sense, so we're extending it before the contract runs out, I'm focusing like about it. It's fall, but I guess in time for the fall, the big fall one.
Sorry, it's so weird, you find something and then it
Can I look
just
at
kind of disappears, yeah, if you look at it really quick, it's kind of something, I found it, just couldn't see it, looking at it quickly. Should have marked it.
A 1-year extension of the bid term may be granted at the sole discretion of the town only if the awardee performs the work statement at the current contract rate in a satisfactory manner and with the recommendation of the LGWG to the Monterey Select Board. 1-year extension, so the 1-year extension is from June 2025 till June 2026. Right?
So the contract, is
It ended June 16th, 2025.
wait, if we signed it in September, October, why would it end in June?
What's the date on
July 1, 2024 to June 16th, 2025.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like you said, they do their work in the
Right.
fall and the spring,
Right.
not.
I think this, yeah, that's why June 15th was the date that they were.
So this is gonna be, June 16, 25 to 2026 extension.
Okay,
the? Make a motion that we accept the extended contract on the New England Aquatic Services.
I'll second,
We'll call vote,
yes.
Yes.
yes, unanimously approved. Town administrator updates,
I sent, just before the meeting, I sent out contracts for the, in an email for the accountant and the treasurer to go over, because it was just 1 year contract, and I think I hadn't looked at it, but I believe the accountant ends either the end of September.
September 30.
September 30, so we have to work on those, I guess, to get those done as well.
And can I just follow up on that for a quick moment?
Yep.
The treasurer we had on a fiscal year timeline, and Roger and I spoke and felt like we should at least tie the two together, whether that's fiscal year or the September, so that if ever we do change treasurer or accountant or both, they can close the books out from the prior year.
I was just gonna say too, I think that having it end with a fiscal year is awkward because of that.
Yeah.
You want the same person in place to finalize things.
So with the treasurer contract, we're gonna change it to, October to September. And hopefully we'll do that. I guess it is at the end of September, so we'll do that as soon as we can get it on board, as long as everyone's good with renewing another year.
Have we been happy with both of their services? Have they been responsive? All of the stuff we were looking at the end of the year, does get all cleaned up?
Yeah.
And there was a note that we needed to get them cleaned up, but I don't remember if we actually did. The holdovers from last fiscal year, were they ever finalized and straightened out?
Yeah.
All the things we caught that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I think I caught all that stuff.
Okay.
I have my moments. And those moments usually are when I'm asked to do something that I know that if there was somebody in-house, they would do it. So it's like, and because I've been asked to do things where I know they have the ability to do it themselves because they have the same access that I have to do the stuff, but they're asking me to do it. So it's like, I got other stuff to do, I'm happy to, but if someone was in-house.
Is that the accountant or the treasurer?
Both. It's, in those instances, it's probably more weighted on the accountant side. The treasurer side, I'm not having, the treasurer side, the issues I was having at the time had to do a lot with payroll, and we've really kind of cleaned up payroll a lot. So payroll is taking some time now, the new fiscal year, we're trying to figure a few things out here and there, some weird things, some stuff that I did that I didn't quite do correct, trying to figure out for next year. But I'm sort of doing okay with them, but, I'm satisfied with them. The one thing I will say is that on the accountant side, Eric specifically is very easy to get along with, he's very easy to work with. We have a meeting I call it my financial team meeting, every 2 weeks, and if there's a problem, he's pretty good about fixing something right then and there. I haven't really, Sarah has, she has some personal issues with the accident with her daughter that has kind of thrown her off a little bit, and so she gets there, she gets to those meetings when she can, but she's also very responsive when I ask questions to her.
At one time, the invoices, they weren't getting back to you, and they just prolonged it before, if there was something wrong, going back in like December.
We had the problem was we had the schedule where they would review the invoices on
Oh, yeah.
Saturday and process the warrant on Saturday.
Yeah, we straightened that all out.
That's all
So,
back.
yeah, so we would basically, everything is supposed to be there Thursday. If there are any problems, that those problems have to be taken care of by Friday by noon. If
So
it's something
yeah.
after that, if it's something happens after that, we have to deal with it on Monday, or the following week,
But at least we have an opportunity during the work week to
Yeah.
sort out.
We got to fix it, we weren't having the opportunity.
Yeah, we haven't had, since that incident, that happened, we haven't had
Around the
anything
first of the year.
where it's been like, they're sending something out on Sunday that we need to react, we need to get to, so that, check on Monday or Tuesday, whatever, so yeah, that's pretty much smoothed out.
But the accounts aren't set up for the new year, right?
Yes, I talked to Eric the last time, and that's something that I was gonna do this week, is look and see. The accounts are set up, but they're not set up sort of in those subcategories quite yet, so they're still trying to get to that stuff. It was the same issue with last year, the last year's issue was that they had, I don't know what had happened, they had
They
like,
copied all the prior year's
they like
accounts without
rolled
looking at
over
our new
stuff.
budget.
Yeah, but sometimes it wasn't even the same, it was so weird, so they had to go back through and fix that too. So it's little tiny things like this that if you had the chance to like sit down with somebody right there, you could be like, this is how we do it here, and they might do it all.
Well, I do wanna tidy up if we can this year on the front end instead of the back end. Make sure all the accounts are reflective of
What
our
they should be.
situation.
Yeah,
So like, it's gonna say a special article that was voted on to pay for that ambulance services. It should be should say ATM 2025
Yeah.
Article 15.
Yeah.
Not ATM 2022 Article
Because they're using,
12.
the same account number.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's a new special article, even if it's a related thing, if it's a special article, it's a new pot of money each year.
Yeah, that's,
Because it makes it very hard to read through and see what's going on when you have prior year.
I've had that problem several times.
Yeah,
and
I
then
can't-
there's a question of should this money be held over or not held over, and
And it leads to it's not just a nitpicky thing, because it leads to serious
errors.
problems.
Yeah.
Like we overspend, underspend, don't really know, don't have clarity.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure in August, September, that we get everything hopefully squared away.
That's kind of what the plan is.
We'll do those contracts at a future meeting, sorry, Dan.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
And it's
all good.
Harvard that we have to deal with to get the payroll system
Yes,
corrected, so we know that things are working
Yeah.
right for the fire
yeah,
department.
yeah, so Harper's,
That's neither the accountant nor the
Yeah.
treasurer, it's a separate thing, okay.
yeah, I will say one thing about the treasurer. The treasurer, Sarah, really, got really mad at Harper's. They really messed up the transition from the fiscal years, the split payroll between the fiscal years.
This year.
This year. They actually had conversations with Harper's, and everybody was like, oh yeah, sure, that's exactly what's gonna happen, and it did not happen. And she called them up and had like the vice president of whatever, or some high level person in touch, and she basically told them that if this is not right, I've got people, we will leave if this continues. And the confusion was that the person that she was talking to was like, we do Attleboro, which, has 500 employees or something like that, and don't have this problem. So something went haywire with
We
that.
do Attleboro, but then we should be easy, so what up?
I know, that's just it.
Obviously, maybe it's a different person doing Attleboro,
That's
and the
it.
person you have doing us isn't doing it right.
That's
Sorry,
right, that's what's
kryptonite, split payrolls and debt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was, so she was very good about that and straightening all that out and working with Harper's. And Harper's is the weirdest thing because we use Harper's payroll, so I create a profile for a new employee in Harper's. I have to push some certain buttons, so at some point after everything's been finished for the onboarding, then they flow over to the time and attendance, which is like a totally different animal, and they really don't talk together much. It's a physical process for them to talk together, so it's weird, it's a
this
strange
will
thing.
sound like a strange question, but like, we made the choice to do that time and attendance thing.
Yeah.
And to use, were we already using Harper's for payroll and we just added on to that?
I have no idea.
believe so, yeah.
I guess
It
what
was,
I'm,
I think it was a module.
right, I guess what I'm wondering is, are these things serving us? Would we be better off?
Yeah.
Would we be better
They-
off?
they-
At this point,
Yeah, they are, it's
Okay.
these few things that happen every so often that are like, I can't figure out what's going on, and then I realized that I was supposed to tell Harper's payroll first, and then these guys, and then Harper's time and attendance, or I have to like call time and attendance and figure, it happens every so often, it's just these really weird little IT glitches that happen. So,
But in general, it's sorting us.
yeah, I think so it is, it's gotten better over the past year, it's gotten better over the past year. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gotten much better.
Just checking in.
Chief Fahey told me that the cruiser is anticipated for November. That's when it's expected to come in.
Is it a truck? It's a truck.
It's a truck, yeah, the truck coming in, hybrid, truck, I guess, hybrid truck. We already spoke about it, but the reminder that Curtis Road Bridge hearing is this Thursday at 7:00, so it's kind of their meeting. We'll have some, I'll have.
Is it here?
Yeah, it's here. I'll have the owl ready
Is
to
it 7, not 6?
7:00, yeah. Oh, actually,
It's 7, I checked it there.
yeah.
Okay. I had the wrong time.
Who's running that meeting?
Mass DOT,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably bring it on there.
yeah. Yeah. So that is. Oh, 6:00.
It is 7?
Oh, jeez.
I screwed
So I
that.
had it right.
Parks and Recreation Committee is at 7. Maybe you're gonna go to that.
Okay.
They're meeting down at the beach. I know there was somebody at 7. I just looked at that too myself.
the Parks Commission.
The Parks Commission is meeting down at the beach
It's 7.
at 7.
Gotcha, okay.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Shit, I screwed that up.
What company is it? CAI. Sandusfield Road bid opening is on August 28th. They'll start shortly thereafterwards. The road will be closed for a couple weeks. I have been in contact with the school department.
Wait, you said bid opening?
There's a bid opening, yeah.
It's a bid opening or it's an actual beginning of the
It's a
work?
bid opening,
Okay.
What date?
August 28th. And then
But they're expecting to get done this season.
yes, yeah, they're expecting to be.
Wait,
done
I'm
this-
confused. Doesn't a bid opening mean people are starting to bid on it?
No, they've submitted their bids. It's the opening of the bids.
Ah, I get it, okay.
So, which will
Yeah.
take,
Also makes sense. I was.
Thank you.
so it's yes, it's the opening of the
Sealed
bids.
Right,
See,
it's
yeah,
the-
sealed letters, separates, all that, whatever they said, the CAI, I think, is like.
CAI technology.
No, that's a different company, I can't remember what the company is right now off the top of my head.
That does the opening.
They're doing everything, they're
Okay.
basically, they've done all the paperwork, they've dealt with the Conservation Commission, they're, Matt Lundstedt is the gentleman I've been working with, they're doing everything. And then the project.
CEI.
CEI, that's right, CEI. They'll start shortly thereafterwards, hopefully within the first couple weeks, get started, and then the road will be shut down for 2 weeks, or it won't be shut down, there'll be no way to get through it at that point. I have been in touch with the schools, I didn't hear back.
What about the detour for that?
Well, it's interesting, because I have mentioned it, I did tell them about Wallace Hall,
Mhm.
and that the best way to go, the next level up from Wallace Hall is Cronk up through Chestnut Hill, which itself is not a great road.
No, but why don't we do one way each way?
Well, that was something that I mentioned, but I didn't hear back from them. They were just like, thank you very much for the information. So, but then I was talking,
Because enough people go on Sandusfield Road.
Yeah.
Can you picture one-on-ones on Wallace Hall?
I would, Jim Hunt, I saw him a while back, and I asked him the same question, and he said when they did the detour on New Marlboro Road, they used Wallace Hall Road as a detour.
But that's New Marlboro Road.
Yeah, that doesn't.
There's
No,
a few
there's very
homes.
little traffic.
Sandusfield is gonna get highly traffic.
Yeah, I can, again, I can let them know what works best. I
Yeah, when
told
the
them.
bridge was out on New Marlboro Road, but that's only for the very few people that live on New Marlboro and on Harmon, which is like 8 houses.
I know a lot of people go
A
through.
lot
Sandusfield.
more people on Sandusfield.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
So- I guess we could try. I'll ask
Well,
him
should
about
we
the
just
one,
go to
I'll
the
I'll
hearing
follow
on
up.
Thursday?
Yeah.
But like seriously, we're gonna have problems if we send two lanes of
That's the-
Sandfield Road.
that's
That's
traffic.
Curtis Road.
That's
not-
Curtis Road.
That's
right?
Curtis Road.
But
That's the
Curtis
hearing
is on
on
Thursday.
Hearing is,
Oh,
it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
I will follow up again
Okay.
and make sure they understand our concerns. That what will work best for that road, cause my
actually, two
concern,
lanes would almost do better on the other.
it wouldn't, except as you get down, as soon as you go over the hill and you start heading down Chestnut Hill, there's
Yeah.
that big left-hand turn,
Yeah,
which is a little skinny.
so maybe we can do one way each way. I mean, I think you got it. You can't send that many cars down Walls Hall Road with no guardrails.
I know. I drove down it and I was like, we need to actually get a grader down here. Cause it's not in a good way. So that's when I emailed them. And I was like, I don't know.
You do the gravity car race.
Yeah. Yeah, so. And I'm gonna have to talk to Hume because Hume gets deliveries like from Cisco and, they get delivered, big trucks go through there too. And that road's gonna be tough for a tractor.
So if someone's coming up Sandfield Road to deliver to Hume, they're gonna be told, oh, go down Wallace Hall over, yeah, right, that's,
Or go up to Chestnut Hill
and then try to go up the
and
hill.
then go up the hill.
Jesus.
I don't know how they're gonna, the only other way I could think for deliveries is for them actually to go all the way down into Sandusfield and come up West
no, I think they should, I don't know,
for deliveries,
yeah.
so.
Cause with some of these projects, like I know with the Curtis Road Bridge, this is my recollection at least, when the project was presented to us. They're responsible for the project and the town's responsible for the detour.
Yeah.
Financially, logistically, they said, you either decide if it's the whole bridge closed down or you do one lane at a time, but once you close down the whole bridge, the town's has to be in charge of the detour, not the.
No, in this case, they're taking responsibility for the detour.
We have it in writing. Is that there?
That's what they told me, but, I did posting for the Concom agent, our Concom agent is leaving.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, she's actually leaving,
So she didn't stay long then.
No, she got a full-time job up in Pittsfield at the Pittsfield Conservation Commission, she was actually not technically our agent, she was our administrative support staff for the Conservation Commission. So she, I think she thought it was going to work, like she could figure it out, but their meetings up in Pittsfield aren't, any specific date. They kind of float all over the place, and within the first month, there was a conflict, that they had a meeting that was gonna be at our meeting. And there were concerns about site visits and when site visits should take place. So, actually Kim Weatherall is coming back to help us for a little while until we find a new person. So. she-
When I was standing there, I understood from Mel that was for August. It wasn't clear whether it would continue through September.
Yeah, I don't know, I know I did post it, I know, the Conservation Commission members have been reaching out themselves
Right.
to the people. I've asked that they actually go through the Indeed, I talked to Noel today, that if they did have, any, people they were interested in, to just go through and quickly submit a resume and cover letter. The link is on the website as well, through the posting.
Right.
So, yeah, well, I've had two people that have already applied, but one was in Virginia and another one had no experience at all with conservation.
I'm telling you, I think Indeed is now a failed effort. I really do.
And I'm not, it is kind of weird.
I mean, the thing is the problem is the tech trend keeps shifting,
Yeah.
right? And so when that initially happened, it was successful, but it's gradually gotten less and less successful.
They've made it worse because everything's so automatic on it. As soon as your profile sees a word or several words together, it just fires something off, so.
The AI is a bad learner.
I remember once I was looking for an IT person and somebody who was a gym teacher with no technology experience showed up in the resumes. I don't know how, but something in their profile said to fire, I don't know. Another reminder that National Grid is trimming along power lines, in case anybody wants to know. I've had a couple people call. We've had one incident already where somebody's wires were cut. So, yep, so we've had, and I've had that. I've had the extremes, actually. I had one person who came in and was like, I need to be able to contact National Grid because the people doing the line trimming, they cut through our fiber, our cables. So they couldn't work because they were working from home and they couldn't work. And I've had the absolute total opposite of people who had actually gone out to have a conversation with the foreman of the line crew. And actually, they decided not to cut a tree or trim a tree.
They're not cutting trees.
They're not cutting trees, they're trimming. They're trimming, but they were like, you don't have to trim that tree, it's not really that close. And they were like, yep, that's okay. And Kevin West went by at the same time, and everything was really good, so it's kind of been the extreme so far. That's how it goes. Everything's nice and smooth.
But it's the people on 23, because I
It's all
drove by
power
the
lines.
trucks.
Yeah.
I know, I drove by the trucks and they were unmarked, which was
They
weird.
just say that, well, they're white and one
Tree
says
service or
line
something.
crew.
Line crew, yeah, and I was like, line crew, I guess it's National Grid, but it's weird that it doesn't say.
They're National Grid contractors,
Right, okay,
so that's what's happening there.
okay.
And then the last thing I have here is that with Don Clausen's help, we, on the town's GIS, the Access GIS, we've added all the chapter lands and lands in conservation in a way to sort of help the housing and planning group in the future.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
can go on there right now and turn on all the chapter lands and it shows all the properties in town that are in chapter, which can be in agricultural, forestry, or recreation. And then
Right.
also it shows lands that are in some form of conservation restriction. So
Nice.
using that as a way to sort of help people understand what, when they look at Monterey, what is going on with the land and the property and all that. I'm hoping to get a big map printed out, at least to have in town here.
That'd be kind of fun.
So just to kind of have something here. So that's it for me.
I had, looking over the minutes. So back in one of the minutes, we talked about a Highway 4 reorganization. I believe that was, and it was with the consent of the Highway 4. I think that was Sheldon was gonna go back to working Monday through Friday. Whatever happened with that?
First, I wanted to have our conversation because we were gonna be together with
Okay.
the transfer station committee.
Right, I'm sorry.
Because one of the agenda items on there is staffing and what
Right.
works best for
Thursday.
staff. Thursday at
Okay.
11:30. I wanna have that conversation first. and
Have
make
you
sure-
had a conversation with Sheldon?
I have
Has he told
spoken,
you about it?
he's okay with that, Pete's talking with him as well. And I've had one resident who's interested in working anywhere in town and was very interested in working at the transfer station.
And if we're gonna have some changes in the highway department, I think maybe having Sheldon full time again
Yeah.
would be a good thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
Okay.
just waiting for that, to have that conversation before actually, before anything else.
Would also make sense, I mean, we're very close to having a highway superintendent back, hopefully. One way or another.
One way or
Or
another.
having to hire,
But-
depending.
But should we, or having hire, or having our highway superintendent back, but would it make any sense to wait for that person to make a call on the organization?
Maybe,
Maybe.
but I'm hesitant to put it off too long.
Yeah, I have Pete as part of this, I know Pete's not the superintendent, he's the foreman. But, yeah, I mean, it would be, but we could also have. some
Ideally,
already
it
set
would,
up.
but if you have to fill the position, it takes time to fill
I was
it.
just gonna say, it could be months.
It could be months before you fill it.
But it's also not really an urgent thing, right? We're saying
No.
it might marginally be more efficient for the highway department to have
Sheldon,
its fifth,
yes,
one of its 5 members, 4 days a week doing that instead of, or 5 days instead of 4.
Yeah.
It's like marginal.
yes, it is marginal, but that only increases what, by 20% or whatever that number is.
And he already spent some of his Monday to Thursday doing
And I think that's,
janitorial.
I think that's where they were, where in talking to Pete, where they actually would gain a full day out of him because he spends almost 3/4 of his day on Monday. taken care of here, and then going back up to the swap shop and cleaning up there. So he spends a significant amount of his day doing that. So they would be like, now they'd actually have him doing work.
We can
as
always
opposed to-
go back to hiring a cleaning service for town hall too. I mean, I don't think we saved a lot of money.
I don't know how much it costs. I mean, we're basically.
So we had a cleaning service for a long time, and when that cleaning service happened to just drop us, I forget why,
They closed out.
they closed, right? They didn't drop us, it wasn't a personal thing, but, and we said, okay, we have Highway 4, and we're gonna have them do transfer station and clean, and I think we saved $2,000
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah,
So,
you know,
I just think that should be an option on the table.
yeah, it's an interesting thought, because it's really about what goes on at the transfer station, because I've only been really intimately involved in the transfer station for like 16 months now. My experience is just taking stuff there. And, you know, at one point in time, my understanding is that there were two people that ran it. There was one person who managed the swap shop, and then there was one person who worked over at the where people unloaded. And then eventually the person who managed the swap shop was kind of doing both. That's my understanding.
That's right.
That's more or less what I would concur with that assessment, what you concur?
So the real issue is that the two people that are there, either it's gotten way more busier and they are unable to deal with the swap shop.
No, it's,
Or where they're just not, it's just not their purview,
so.
they're just told to do this. And I don't know.
With the old dump, we had one person who was often hired from the dumpster company, not even the town.
How, this
Oh,
was the
really?
previous dump?
Oh, the
Yeah.
dump.
When it was the dump, not the transfer?
It was the transfer station, this was
Okay.
like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I know, cause I would sell steak roast tickets at the transfer station, so I'd be there for like 4 hours sitting at the transfer station. And then when we got the new transfer station, we had Beth and Dave, and Beth happened to do a lot with the swap shop, and Dave didn't. But they both technically had the same job description and worked as transfer station attendants, and there was nothing in paper
Yeah.
about that.
She just did it.
Then we had a revolving door of transfer station attendants, and we had swap shop volunteers.
Mhm.
So we've never really had an equilibrium since Beth and Dave about
Yeah.
it worked very, very well when Beth ran it, because you had someone, whenever the dump was open,
Mhm.
the
I mean,
transfer
I
station
sort of
was
feel like
managed.
that was a better system. I mean, I liked the idea of the volunteers, but it's too few hours and it's too
Yeah.
hit and miss.
It's too much, I think it's too much responsibility to give a volunteer who works 1 hour a week to be like,
Yeah.
no, you can't put that here.
Yeah,
Well, I think but I think at the same time, I don't know if we can ask our transfer station attendants to curate the
Swap shop.
merchandise and swap shop. We could, but
But I don't know how it worked before, did she?
Yeah.
Did they
She
say?
did.
Oh,
like,
very,
this goes-
very,
Yeah,
very
oh,
much.
yeah.
Oh,
She
and
ran.
they were a really good team, because also Dave would be like, yeah, that will probably work, go and check in with that, or put that in the dumpster right now, we don't wanna see it.
And that's not happening right now.
No,
Exactly.
it takes like the right exact person, I don't blame any of the people who are working there right now, it kinda took someone who was willing to be the transportation attendant, and also had an eye for
What
curating
was
the
gonna-
merchandise
yeah,
and
what was
swap
gonna
shop.
say.
Yeah.
It's not something you can really
Right.
hire for.
Require, yeah.
Because it's just that, you know, there's a good percentage of stuff that on Mondays just gets thrown out.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff in front of the swap shop, a lot of it, I mean,
Well, maybe we
Looks like
just need to
it's
make a
just a
rule of like,
And that's kind of what we're trying to talk about on Thursday.
to streamline. But also, when we have a director of operations, they're in charge,
Yes.
and that helps, because
Yeah.
that's their purview.
Right.
Rather than us trying to sit here and figure it all out.
although, at the end of the day, like, you're right, it's hard to find someone that that is comfortable wearing that hat, but the question is, are we even gonna try to look for someone that's willing to wear that hat? Because we've had trouble, like,
I
stacking.
think it's too hard, I think it's hard enough to find someone who's willing to give up all their weekends.
Exactly.
And I think we might have to come up with an unfortunate and simple rule, like if it doesn't go in the building, it doesn't we can't take it.
Take it.
And so nothing ever collects outside, unless it's outdoor furniture that's not gonna
Be
be a
damaged by
problem,
weather,
everything outside.
nothing that isn't like
And
flat.
that's what people are doing, they're dropping off
Dropping off.
stuffed furniture.
Yeah.
Well, just make them pay for it, and that's the other thing also
See, that was the thing that
they
we were-
used to do, is they'd say, and kind of, if they knew you, they'd be like, all right, that's gonna be $40, you can put it in the swap shop for a day, but
And that's
don't
what-
fix it up.
and that's what I think we should do.
But it's if no one picks it up,
It
problem,
depends
how
on
do you
the
get the
person.
money?
If it's
No, they
Nikki, and she's there twice a week,
Right,
you can track her down next Wednesday, and she's an honest person, so she's gonna pay that $40.
I think they should just pay right off.
Yes,
As soon
I agree.
as soon as they bring it, if it's
Yeah.
whatever it is, if they're gonna leave it at the swap shop, they should pay for the, leave it at the swap shop.
Yeah, probably.
Cause there's a good chance it's gonna get thrown out.
And some of the people bring in trash.
Oh, yeah.
I know, and the other option is, if you don't wanna pay it, take it to Goodwill.
Yeah.
It's in your car, drive to Goodwill right now.
Become a member of the Google groups, put it out there.
Yeah, if you, yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, that's someone's,
Yeah, well,
we're not gonna solve it tonight.
So what are we on?
I have no
Unanticipated.
I have no unanticipated.
So, we kind of do. So, two things. One is, the chief and the deputy chief have found someone they'd like to hire, as we all know. But according to Roger, Donna says that it has to be us, that we're the hiring authority. So, Frank and I also wanna get together with the chief and deputy chief and Roger to make sure we have all of the pay types and how it will actually go forward completely worked out, so that we can make sure that Harper's get set up in a way now, and we're not trying to fix it in December because there's 6 months of weird stuff going on. And so I was thinking we could have that meeting, what did we say, Friday?
Probably 3:00. I'll check, I'll drop you an email when I get home.
And so we can post the meeting,
Yeah. probably.
and finalize all the details. for
Do you
it.
know what they wanna start him at? Because he doesn't come,
Right now, that position is 26, was in the spreadsheets we worked with.
yeah, but should he start at that because he doesn't have that experience?
Except he's,
Well, there was multiple positions that they had in the spreadsheet. One was a firefighter, just a plain firefighter.
he's actually a firefighter EMT, not
Which
EMT.
he has that. So, and then there was a firefighter EMT,
Mhm.
and then there was a captain EMT,
Mhm.
a deputy fire chief, and a fire chief. And the deputy fire chief was getting paid $38 an hour, or it was, so the chief was 41, deputy chief was 38, captain was 37,
Well, what did they wanna start him at?
like $26 an hour.
He's,
What would the job title be?
actually, I think it was,
Firefighter.
I think what they said at the meeting was, because he's an EMT.
I didn't know he was an EMT.
Yeah, he's got his EMT, that they were gonna start him at 27, and when he passed the CDL, they were gonna bring him to 30. Which, and what's in here for firefighter EMT is 30.
So I talked to Roger a little bit about this today, and I spoke with town council, cause I've always been figuring out where the conflict of interest lies. And to the extent that any of it's to do with my pay, I can't participate, but if it's about what we're paying
In general.
in general, I can, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you were gonna.
yeah,
Like you should.
I mean, I think that I have some useful
Perspective,
not on my own pay, but,
that's fine.
on just like the whole onboarding and different little glitches we might run into and stuff like that, so I can to some degree be involved.
Okay.
When it's not about me.
Well, I've always wanted your input,
The one-
right, so that, you're not gonna get a back talk from me on that.
The one, I know it's water over the dam, but it's concern I have, based on what I know, is, the other towns aren't starting as high as we are. I mean, the EMT, I wanna say it was $27 an hour in Otis, if you're the man in charge of the ambulance, it was like $1 or $2 more. And before we offer, should we take a look at what the other towns are paying?
At some point we had, I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
dig it
because I
up,
think
but
that's where we came up with those hourly
those
rates.
hourly rates,
Yeah,
but of course, that was like 4 months ago, so now it might all be different.
Yeah.
I think that there's also justification for the EMT paying more, even though they're not an EMT license.
well, I don't have a,
Is CDL worth that much on the fire department?
And I actually might have it wrong, it might be that it was 27 and when the paperwork for his because I know he just did it.
Mhm.
So it might have been that the 30 was when the EMT was finalized and paperwork came through.
Cause I think it's a tricky situation, because yes, it's better if we have EMTs than non-EMTs, and Monterey hasn't had a lot of EMTs over the year, but Dell used to be an EMT, Roy used to be an EMT, we've had different people are EMTs.
Right.
At the same time, they really can't operate at an EMT level when they're just part of the Monterey Fire Department, because Monterey doesn't respond to medical control and isn't licensed to operate at an EMT level. So how much is it worth to the town? Is it worth $3 an hour more to have an EMT certification you can't really use? I don't know.
I guess the other question too.
I think it's-
One of the questions I wanted to raise as well, is in order, because we're thinking about, part of the whole point of this is to begin the process of letting us be an EMT organization. And like, my impression is it's one of these ridiculous chicken and egg things, that you have to have the people on staff to get the licensure. You have to do, like, which way does it go? Because if you have to have the EMTs to be able to become an EMT house,
yeah,
you're
but I
like
mean,
constantly gonna be in that situation where you're forced to hire
I'm not
someone
gonna
for a job they
question.
can't actually do, which I personally think is ridiculous, but if that's what the requirement
Yeah,
is, we're.
if you look, if you look at Otis is gonna have an EMT ambulance. Santafield, according to Steve, said he envisioned that they would be an ambulance service full, they would have a staff for that they probably wouldn't go fire department paid staff like we did, but they would do, apparently they've ordered a new ambulance, so they would have one ambulance that would be used for transportation, one would be used for emergency care. And then you have Southern Berkshire ambulance. We have everybody surrounded,
Technically, we have New Marlboro as well.
and New Marlboro, so do we really need to have the EMT? Is it overkill for if we wanna do regional?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think it's overkill, because also from,
your experience.
just from experience,
Right, an event.
EMTs, even when they can't operate at EMT level, are just better care providers. They're just more experienced, more knowledgeable, and better, and I think to have someone licensed at an EMT level is absolutely valuable to the town. They're gonna, even if they can't administer whatever other treatments or
Right,
that they may be able to do, they're gonna be that much quicker with the potential diagnosis and that much better at things that they can do, like tourniquets. Because they're just gonna have more experience
Right,
probably
they're
under
trained.
their belt. And they're better trained, so I think it's worth something. I guess the question is how much, right?
Well,
And-
I would like to take a look at what are the other townships doing on that. I'm afraid we're gonna get in a bidding war for people.
We're already there.
I know, but I don't.
No, I'm not,
okay,
I'm
you
not
got-
disputing what you're
Look,
saying.
you have 4 fire
Imagine.
chiefs meeting now about how to do dispatch. The one thing I talked to Sean about, have you talked about the financial? And well, there's been a little bit of conversation. We need to start talking about it now and not at the end of the process.
Financial of what?
Well, how would you do regional? If we have a full staff here, we got the biggest,
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about dispatch.
yeah, but they're meeting now to talk about how you would do dispatch. Like, if you have a call and the house has smoke in it, you dispatch more. That was some to the effect of showing, that's not per word, but there would be like, okay, burning house, there is smoke. Okay, there's a smoke detector going off, but there's no smoke, might be a different response. That's the way I took his example. So,
I know they're working on that, they're working.
they're working on that, they're supposed to meet with the dispatch people
Yeah.
about that.
To work that. to get
So,
the
but there should be a we shouldn't be competing with one another. We should be working with one another. Okay, this is the fair pay, let's keep it in a certain window. Because it's just gonna get, it's gonna get, we're gonna, once you put it out there, it's hard to take back. You bring up a good point about an EMT being a value. What is that value for us? Yes, we should have that, but.
And there's also a question,
You know,
between a firefighter, EMT, and an EMT,
Mhm,
and a firefighter.
right.
There's 3 different categories.
Mhm.
So I don't disagree that getting data on what they're currently paying
Yeah, no.
in the other towns is a good idea. It always seems like a good idea. I don't know how much it will have changed, and I don't know whether when we did look, we were distinguishing between all 3 types.
But I mean, I don't know, I'll reach out to Steve and ask him what he's paying, because, they're concentrating on ambulance service.
So they're just EMTs, they're not also firefighters.
Well, they're talking about having one paramedic and and some EMTs for the ambulance, because of that veterans home, that he goes,
Oh, I know why they need it.
yeah, that's one of their biggest problems, right? Trying to get their hands around that.
And I know that some of the people in Otis that work the ambulance are firefighters and some are not.
Right.
And
Well, I'll call Brandy, because, I met her at the meeting when they discussed it. And, they had, for an ambulance, they were sending 2 EMTs out. They didn't talk about paramedics at all now.
Otis,
Otis.
yeah, I don't think they have paramedics.
Yeah, and the person that was in charge would get more per hour than the person riding the.
But it's worth, if you're gonna talk to them, it's worth finding out if they're also firefighters or
Okay.
not.
Mhm.
I believe at least some of them are,
Yeah.
because I think the person who ran the ambulance was also the chief of the fire department. So,
Yeah,
I believe that's true.
In Otis, I think he just joined the fire company, like right before the ambulance company, right before they were starting to become part of the fire department. It's all kind of
Yeah.
funky stuff going on.
Would it make sense, to take this back a step, would it make sense to do contracts with people? To do contracts with the fire chief, the deputy fire chief, the full-time firefighter?
It's an interesting question.
I think it's worth a discussion.
What's the advantage?
Everything's clear, there's no questions about,
Okay,
and actually in writing it up, you need to answer questions like,
like this.
what happens when, what are the benefits when? Because we don't have our firefighter manuals nailed down about vacation or X, Y, or Z. We
Right.
put in a contract, and that just is the guiding document, because right now we have 2 full-time firefighters, and we're adding a 3rd. And I think it would answer some of those HR questions that come up about what is the policy on vacation or sick or whatever, because it's different now than for all the other employees.
When you say would you do it like an annual contract, or how?
I think starting off, because we're just getting into
We're
this.
just, yeah, and the likelihood
Two,
of it's shifting from.
Well, yeah,
the
too,
first
if we
year's
do
time.
it, I mean, if we do regional or whatever, it allows us to adjust and say, you're an EMT, we'd like to, at the end of the contract, we can offer you a contract here where they need an EMT. And, you just don't know what we'll face.
I just feel like it's almost like an individualized employee handbook.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is too, but I think it's a great suggestion, because it gives us we want to maintain people, whether it's on our staff or we do regionalization, it's maintaining that, but it allows us to make a change.
Certainly at the end of the year, we could make a
We
change,
could
and at
say-
some point, we may decide it's not worth having a contract for every single person, but
I think to
agree.
start off,
Yeah.
we don't know how it's gonna look.
There's gonna be a
I
lot of
mean,
changes.
and two is, I do feel like, I walked away, I met with Steve, I had coffee with him.
What's Steve's last name?
Said,
So,
be
yeah,
the chair of Senate.
yeah, and, they know they have a problem, I mean, he was very apparent on that, but they wanna talk, they want partnerships, it was good conversation, it's, time will tell if it all works out, but, they know they have a problem, they're trying to get it up, done inventory of equipment, they got SOPs in place for getting hires now and stuff like that.
So, I don't know if like the first thing on this agenda should be figuring out what, I don't think this is the case, that what do we need to have in order to become an EMT house? What do we have to have in place here before we can take that step? I don't think that's the first thing on the agenda.
I don't think it is, because I
No,
think you have to ask, I interrupted and I apologize, but you have to say who your partners are, and then you have to sit in a room and have an adult conversation. How can we do this and be efficiently do it money-wise for, that it's distributed across. right?
For sure, but I'm not talking about running an ambulance. You don't have to run an ambulance necessarily to have that ability to use the EMTs that are on your department.
Yeah, but
Because, and even if you have that, if you don't have an ambulance and you're not doing transport, at least the people that are EMTs for you can be EMTs.
Yeah, but I could see where you could have a contract and say, there may become occasions where we may assign you to this township because they need an EMT. If we're working with these people across the,
Right.
okay, suppose Otis loses one of their EMTs. Well, we can hire a firefighter tonight, but we would like you to work 2 shifts over doing Otis be the second EMT. There's
Yeah, I
things
mean,
like that.
You're not saying we're gonna do that, you're just saying that could happen.
There's 1,000 things you
Things
can
that might
list.
happen, right.
But you don't wanna close your door and make it so small that you can't, that, oh God, we can't do it. Well, we have to be honest with people, it's a work in progress.
Well, that's for sure.
The only thing you'd have to do is, when they start working, they qualify for a pension. I don't know how you do that on our contract, but I guess you do it for the police chief.
What's that?
The pension.
That's just Berkshire County
Berkshire
retirement.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward because they all pay into that.
Okay.
And I
It's a little different.
Every time I think it's simple, it's not simple, because
okay, point taken.
our new per diem firefighter is in Pittsfield retirement system, so he doesn't pay into, even though he's full-time there, he pays into Pittsfield retirement, so when he works here, he pays into OBRA.
Oh my god, that is the stupidest.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Who's this?
Tyler Vu.
And then
Right?
we have some people who
Why
are,
can't we just be on social security? It's the rest of them.
Well, maybe right now it's a good thing. That's gonna go away and maybe this isn't.
I hope not.
we have some.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we have some people who, just trying to think, was it?
Not to mention Medicare,
like,
it cuts to Medicare too.
I have to check with, we have one firefighter who I think is in OBRA. I think there's 2 separate accounts. I don't know if it's one account, that's the one thing I have to follow up, like if you're in one town, it might be an account for OBRA, and in another town, it might be a different OBRA account. I have to figure that out too.
I mean,
That's one of the questions I
I
have.
personally think it's ridiculous that I have to have an OBRA account for the like piddly little money that the town gives me. It's absurd. It's never gonna amount to anything. It's
The fees
ridiculous
take
way.
out.
It'll cost them
I
more,
know.
it'll cost them
It
more to
costs
send
more
a
time
check out than.
I know, it costs more time and effort than I ever get from it. It's completely ridiculous.
Somebody's making money, trust me.
In any event, so would Friday at 3 work? If you wanna be there.
Yeah, I'll try to be there.
Now,
Okay.
was this also meeting to make a decision on the firefighter?
I think so, but if we're like, then we need to do some research by then to have the answer to Frank's question about what they're paying other towns. Do you you're gonna reach out to New Marlboro?
Yeah, I'll reach out tomorrow.
And
Well, I think I'll-
can you reach out to, no, wait, you're reaching
I
out
have
to
to
Otis,
Otis,
can you
yeah.
reach out to New Marlboro and see what they're paid? And
Do we also have the benefits all squared away for?
define benefits, cause
Like in
Time
general
off, paid
benefits?
time off, sick time.
I believe so.
Berkshire County retirement.
We made
Berkshire
decisions,
retirement, yeah, that's all.
we made decisions about the paid time off and like vacation time, et cetera. But I do think there are some things that are like still a little unclear, particularly because it's in transition. Like, there's supposed to be 3 shifts, but currently 1 shift is kind of just, there's only 2 people, right?
Mhm.
So if there's a call, let's say there's a fire in that time, how is that person who's on salary being paid and out of which pot and for how long, like, right? There are some of these like really picky things that I don't have the answer to, but maybe you have the answer, I don't
But
know.
they're not, it's
Right.
not salary exempt,
It's not,
no.
No, there's overtime for.
but there's all these
That's-
different categories, there's like being on call, there's the call pay, but that's a
Oh,
different
if
thing.
you go
not
anything
an
beyond
officer.
48, is that automatically overtime too?
Well, they're
52.
52. But that's the thing, so if
But if you
they're,
go to anything over 52, is that automatically overtime?
yeah. So that's where it gets kind of tricky, because
I know.
if you're working your 48 hours, so you're 2 on, 4 off, and now you're on your second day off, and you answer a call. Are you getting time, are you getting your $50 pay? You're salaried, but you're not exempt, but you're, you get overtime.
I think you're gonna have to talk.
You're not just overtime, but you get paid for the call, right?
It's not even just Donna, but I'm wondering what they're even thinking up there. Like, I don't wanna
Yeah,
start with
well,
what they think it,
Well,
like,
it's really, they can think whatever they wanna think, freedom of choice, but legally, what it,
Because it isn't that, is it,
it's a compensation, you're a full-time employee per hour. And, on Saturday, you get $50 to make the run.
100?
Yeah, well, 100, okay, but I mean,
2 hours.
I think you gotta talk to Donna, cause I'm sure the law is gonna dictate how that's done.
I will.
You can't have 2 pay scales for one person.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think you actually can.
No, you can't, not in the private sector, you can't have different pay. Or, what they don't know, it doesn't. matter.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all, some,
Yeah, I think,
Weird.
you can't have different scales.
so for example, there's all these
It's not for
different,
the same job.
there's all these different pay categories. So there's like a pay category for, the chief on call. So that's like right now.
Yeah, right.
Full time.
Right, well, that's
That's
understandable.
pretty full time.
Yeah, but there was also chief on site. But that was a different pay rate.
But isn't a lot of that going away now?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, but if
Should be.
What do you mean theoretically?
Well, I mean,
It is, or
It
it isn't.
should be, but the question is that in place already or not?
Cause so
That's why I
for example,
wanted
if one firefighter is works their 48-hour shift, and then they're on their days off and they answer a call, what does that mean? What do they get?
I think Frank's right,
Did they get the $100?
the law is gonna tell you. I don't think there's a lot of
I
discretion.
don't think you can have 2 scales, that's,
I
just
kinda
don't
feel
think
like
that,
you're right too.
I don't think,
Oh, also it's 52, it's 52 for what, 76 days? 52 for 6
it
days.
gets
Well, that's
confusing.
so
weird.
The question is,
So weird.
okay, there's another question, and it's a long term. How do you get away from depending on them on their day off?
Exactly.
That's by having by having multiple people on
Having more people.
staff.
Right.
You would have 2 people on staff and then, or 3 or whatever, and then you're not relying on them to come in. Because then you have your 2 people, for example, and you have hopefully volunteers that show up.
Right.
Because you hate to say to somebody, well, I'm sorry, it's your day off, you can't show up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially to a fireman. They come. They go
Yeah,
there.
that's the question, is, where is they've added some volunteers, haven't they? I mean, we've added some.
A couple here and there,
Yeah,
couple.
but I don't know if they lost anybody.
But I'll ask Donna about that.
So we're meeting Friday at 3.
Mhm.
I'll try to be there, no guarantees. Can we move on?
Uh-huh.
Are you all good for Monday at 7 PM?
Yes, I am. That's what
Alright,
I'm
we'll,
saying.
we'll post that too. And then, okay,
And that's
meet
a joint meeting
with
the
Lake Garfield.
Great Garfield.
And they wanna basically, from everything that I can interpret, they wanna go to, they want to apply for 6-foot drive.
I can totally understand that.
I totally understand it too. I'm wondering, I had the general sense that the COMCOM was just gonna be an automatic thumbs down, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
New agent?
I haven't heard
The
it.
same agent, new, old agent.
Could be
But
the
wasn't
old-
it Fish and Wildlife that was?
It's a Concom that makes the decision. There was an advisory letter from Fish and Wildlife that said,
Ah,
we don't like
right,
these drawdowns,
right,
but it's Concom that made the decision, not Fish and Wildlife.
Concom, I think Concom was hesitant to approve it based on a letter that they got that basically told them they'd done some bad things or something else, so.
We're gonna do that, and meeting schedule going forward. So we're meeting, oh, we just got caught up on minutes. We're meeting on Friday and Monday,
Friday, Monday,
and then,
we just.
we don't have to do those for Curtis Road meeting.
okay, and Thursday?
See, that's
For
the
that,
thing
we're
too.
not meeting for that meeting, but we're, have that, and then Thursday, Friday, Monday.
But if there's more than two of you in the room.
No, as long as we don't deliberate.
Okay.
We can all go to informational hearing.
Cause that was the issue that we had when.
We just have to not talk.
When Eileen and I went to the meetings down at, for the.
Yeah, no, I understand, but
We had to post it.
no one here is gonna get involved in that discussion on Thursday.
They're just, it's an
All right.
they're telling us, right?
Okay.
We're gonna poke you and say, ask this question.
Yeah, right,
Um,
passing Roger notes, ask this.
So, then what are we gonna do? Cause we're not
Take
gonna
a
meet
month of
next Tuesday.
September off.
Well, so, and then Roger's out of town the 19th to the 1st or the 2nd, 19th to the 2nd.
Yeah.
So
I'll be back on
we
the
can
phone
meet.
in a second.
When he's gone, but
And is the meeting with the Lake Garfield people at 7 here, right?
Unless you just wanna kind of throw madness out there and do something, have a meeting on the 14th.
I'm not here.
Wait, why?
Then at least you've had an actual meeting then, and then it's only 2 weeks off like we've done.
no, I think what's just gonna end up happening is
I'm
we'll either
away
meet,
the 13th. or
are you
18th.
all available on the 26th?
I'm here the
Yeah.
26th.
Just out of curiosity, are we planning to actually do any select board business at the meeting with Lake Garfield as well?
Not really.
Okay, that's kind of what I assumed.
Yeah, but they wanted us to like approve what they wanted, if I remember reading it.
I don't know.
I guess I meant.
They
other
want us to
business
sign
than
off
just that,
on,
right.
do you wanna do a 6-foot?
So we don't deliberate, we just say.
No,
No,
That
that's
was
gonna
gonna
be
be
posted meeting.
posted meeting.
This would be
But my
posted-
question was whether the agenda would include non-Lake Garfield related items.
Right.
That's what I was asking.
Okay,
I'm good for the 26th.
I'm good for the.
We're gonna leave the 26th open. And if
Nothing
we,
on the 19th, right?
no,
Okay.
so we're gonna leave
19th
the
off,
26th
is on.
open as a possibility. And
And not the 12th because we're meeting the 11th, right?
Yeah.
So not the 12th.
not the 12th, not the 19th, the 26th is a possibility. But if we don't have a lot to talk about and Roger's not here,
Oh, we can talk about Roger.
our performance evaluation on that.
And then meet on the 2nd?
No,
'Cause the second
not
one-
necessarily.
Okay.
If we met on the 26th, we
Okay.
probably won't meet on the 2nd.
Alright.
The next big cyclical thing is November town meeting. So
No.
August, we don't have to do a lot, that can be a September and early October thing.
Although some of the things we've talked about doing at that meeting require quite a bit of preparation.
Yeah, and two is that, you know, are we gonna wanna go this long without not having a meeting about the fire department, if we're talking about financials, hiring?
Well,
policy?
We may have to decide on Friday that we're gonna have another meeting there
Okay,
somewhere.
okay.
I mean, you know,
Mhm.
I don't wanna assume it and make a meeting when I don't have any times, and the fire people told me that they could do Friday afternoon, so I'm like, oh, just do it. But if we need to do another meeting, we can do it at that meeting. I mean.
We can meet
go back-
whenever.
Yeah, and
We're
we
just
can
trying to
do
figure out a
working
regular.
meetings, yeah, and we can do a working meeting like we did when we're planning the whole thing to begin with.
We went 2 months where we met once a month,
Months, I think, yeah. So I mean.
but then we go stretches of a week and a half where we meet 8 times.
I know. Wait, what were those 2 months?
May and June.
Oh, right, okay,
May and June, I met like once every month or something like that.
right,
And then in the budget season, we were meeting
like,
twice every
yeah,
week. And
I know.
Twice a day.
Oh my god.
Okay, minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Anything else before we dive into minutes?
Oh, I did wanna say something that the Sandusfield Road project that the Green Acres did for us, that piece that had been, section that gotten all messed up, an incredible job. You cannot, I can't say enough about those kids that came and did that.
Wow.
Unbelievable. They had 10 people down there, and that was a long stretch, it was 50 some odd feet or longer, and day and a half, they were down in there.
Wow.
Got it all cleaned up, straightened up, and Emily Stockman came up, gave them the thumbs up, we put a little bit of,
Wow.
we put some hay bales down, at her suggestion, just to slow the water down, and doing exactly what it's supposed to do, they were incredible,
Right,
Wow,
that's good
they
news.
were a
that
mess.
is good news.
Yeah, it was really
I mean, I gotta say, the stuff they've done on, at Bidwell House is great.
Yeah, they've done a great job, they did a really good job, anyway.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that.
Good update. July 1.
Okay, Evan.
You have one change, Susan.
I don't think I had much.
Below.
The stupid thing at the top, right, and you got the delete that.
But amendments were made to the point Melissa stated above, because all the changes were above. The amendments, the list is below.
Okay,
Very confusing.
and you caught the delete that one line at the very beginning? Select
Yes.
board members not
Yeah,
present,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't think we did that.
And then Dennis's grant proposal for 71 hours.
Was it 71 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, I mean, they always seem, I think he always overestimates the time a little bit,
Which is
but it's
fine.
for applying,
It was just a
administrative.
weird, it was mostly,
Yeah.
it was a weird number.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a number of, I think it's probably that's probably a pretty involved grant, but I was like, 71?
Well, the 319 on HGACBuy took many, many years and meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it was just a weird, further down on that same page, how did I have late water, that must have been an accident. Kim updated the board, purpose of hiring, I think.
Mhm.
Did you catch that one?
I see it, yeah. Looks good.
I think that was it. At least you know I actually read them.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we accept 7-1.
Second,
Call vote.
yes.
Yes.
Okay. 7-8.
Right.
One, a stupid little typo in the second big paragraph, Roger Tryon. It should be town administrator replied and not relied.
Yes, I realized all of a sudden we had two Rogers,
Yeah, it's confusing.
so Roger McDonald became the town administrator.
Yeah. Yep, down under page 3, award of community center grant for pavilion construction.
Mhm.
I just added that sentence. Susan pointed out that given the history of fundraising for projects at the community center, it seems likely that a shortfall in that range could be made up with a fundraising campaign.
Yeah.
And I
hope it's
remember
all-
saying,
I hope it's only that range,
yes.
because
well,
that is manageable.
Yeah, but my point was,
Yeah.
we could probably even cover it with our own budget, but the reality is, I bet sometimes it makes everybody feel good that they chip money in, you know?
Yeah. Well, they do chip money in, they just
I
don't
know.
have to say. Otherwise, they get a lien on their house.
Yeah, right.
Auction it off.
Alright,
It's nice when people choose.
Yes, those are two different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
choose to donate, how about that? Choose to donate,
Make a motion that we
Right.
accept the minute for
Second.
7/8/25.
We'll call a vote.
yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Was that 7-1 or 7-8?
7-8.
7-8.
Had a few edits on the 722.
Look good.
Are they gonna be telling us on Thursday whether, because we made the detour decision, did we ever come to, do I recall? I don't
We
recall
did,
that we-
and it was about 3 years.
Yeah, we did it, but we did some work on that Lover's Lane, didn't we? Because we
We did a
needed.
little bit of work.
The concept being, I think, to make it two-way, but is it?
Jim said maybe it could be two-way.
What? Oh, the.
Lover's Lane,
Mhm.
but
We had someone come in and do something because of the Curtis Road.
I think,
detour.
I was talking to them,
No,
I was talking to them, he said they did grade it, kind of
Yeah.
spread it out.
they,
Yeah,
they,
stretch it a little
so
bit.
what they did is, it was dirt. And then when they milled up some sections of road, they put millings on it.
Mhm.
So it's milling it, it's a little bit higher. Having like routine 2-car both ways traffic in there is still gonna be a lot.
Trucks especially.
But it's only gonna
Especially
be-
during the winter.
It's only gonna be Curtis Road traffic, so it's not gonna be as much as when we closed 23 and ran 23 traffic on there.
Mhm.
I don't think that we should rule out the possibility of having a traffic light.
I don't think we should either.
And actually-
I'm worried about a truck coming one way and a person going the other.
The whole thing kinda makes you wanna make Curtis Road 1 lane, because we've just been doing it already.
Oh, yeah, I guess it depends on how long it stretches out the project.
Apparently it stretches over.
When they initially told it to us, it was 1 season if we close it, 3 seasons if you do 1 lane at a time.
And
Three
personally,
seasons.
yeah,
And much more expensive.
yeah,
I don't know how much more expensive it was.
Well, you think about it, if it takes 3 seasons, you got people there for 3 seasons versus 1 season.
I'm sure.
But you know, actually, they cover the cost of the project, we cover the cost of the detour.
Well, then there's no harm in asking.
Cause I don't remember, like, over in Tyringham, how long was that?
I think
bridge?
that was a 1 season.
But it was.
No, that was long, I'll tell you, that bridge was longer than, they did no work on it for a whole season.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know,
But
that bridge,
was it
that is
with the traffic light all the time? Or was the traffic light only when they were really doing work on it? And before that, you just looked to see if anyone
No, it
was
was there
coming?
all the time.
it was all the time. That was there more than 1
2
season.
seasons?
But I think one of them was winter.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
one of the seasons was winter.
No, but I mean, it was, they stopped
Yeah.
working.
Oh,
on it.
seasons, I was thinking
'Cause
years.
Years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like the season as in the building season.
Right.
Okay.
Was it 1 year they did it within?
I bet you it took them a year to do that bridge.
I bet you.
But
It
that,
was
it
close.
sat there for a while.
Yeah.
They didn't do
Nothing
anything,
happening,
nothing happening. I mean, they left all that equipment down there.
I think it comes down to how long it would be. I mean, I could see if it was
I
like,
really don't think it'd take them 3 years.
If it does, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe we'll get some more clarity on Thursday. Maybe
Yeah.
Roger will get more clarity on Thursday.
I'll ask some questions.
right, the only, I
Was he
remember that it was.
texting back there?
Yeah, I remember it
Roger, hold on.
was expensive to get the lights.
Yes,
We're
it's
all
like
set.
$60,000.
I know, it's expensive.
In the wrong business.
Well, we looked at buying them and it doesn't really save a lot of money.
But,
I was,
It would only save money if they lasted a long time, we had to use them for other projects.
I was on 22 in New York and the traffic light for a fairly long 1 lane section stopped working, so I was running back and forth.
oh my God.
That's
Good way to get your
insane.
steps in for the day. So back to 22.
And that was all I had.
Any other comments, questions?
I make a motion that we could accept 7:22 minutes.
No, second,
Vote?
Call vote?
yes.
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 Wow, we're doing 4 of them tonight, I'm in front.
And these are the last you'll see from me, at least for a while.
Handing it off.
We'll try, see what happens.
Okay. That didn't sound like you had a lesson.
I've gotta have faith.
And I just wanted to change, update it on the 28th, updated the board to noted.
Did you get 25? Did I get any comments for 25?
I didn't, it was just that, it was literally that I changed, updated the board to noted, I figured I'd just say it.
Okay, let me look.
Because it seemed ridiculous, so I didn't send it. It's the second sentence, Susan updated the board, I just wanted to change updated the
Yeah.
board to noted, because.
Yeah.
You were all there, I didn't have to update you.
Yeah. Roger wasn't.
Wasn't there?
You,
Did you leave before the count?
When, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I left the count. I had, where did we go? We had somewhere.
the mount.
The Mount, we had to go to the Mount, yes, for some jazz. Got someone doing some more stuff this summer, don't know where I'm at.
Alright.
We normally got like all these tickets for theater and stuff, thank God we didn't. Oh my God, cause it's so expensive, especially if we take the kids to 4 tickets to something, it's like, ka-ching.
Very expensive. We have to call that, cause we have tickets for that Sunday performance at Jacob's Pillow,
Oh, yeah.
so
So you buy them back.
I gotta figure out what to do with them. They're so sneaky, they're like, well, you can do it, the email they send you is like, well, you can just like maybe
Donate it.
donate
Right,
it,
yeah.
or ask for your money back.
Or,
That's a shame.
I know, it was so terrible, what a terrible accident.
What a way to go.
Do we get those, the July 25th is approved?
Yes. No, we haven't voted on it.
Oh,
Make a motion, we accept 7:25 minutes.
Second,
call vote.
yeah.
Yes. Anything else for the meeting?
Can you imagine the partner of that person?
Oh, no.
You do not think that that is a job which could be deadly. But I guess it just reminds us that anything can be deadly.
Be interesting to
Every
see what
minute.
the OSHA report says.
Yeah, don't take it,
Every minute is special.
don't take it for granted.
I wonder if they'll get fined by OSHA. They usually fine them no matter what when you have
And
anything like
so
that.
they like to.
I mean, usually it's 50,000, or it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars for a guy.
I could shut them down.
Yeah, well, they do, with us. We had a guy get electrocuted, you put a screwdriver in a panel, he survived. He's okay. $50,000.
Wasn't that just his fault?
It was his fault. We had to show him, we disciplined, we suspended him, we did all that. Maryland, it was Maryland motion.
Was he not up to date on trainings?
Huh?
Was he not up to date on
He
trainings?
was on training, he was just trying to take a shortcut.
So,
It doesn't matter, they fined the company, $50,000. I said, what?
we didn't get fined for our one run-in with Ocean.
Was our friend.
Go with
Jimmy
it.
Edwards.
Yeah, the bridge.
What happened with that?
Oh, yeah.
Jim.
Oh, Jim,
Yeah,
sorry.
that was in Maryland. But, they don't, they're deaf, man, they usually, it's
Tough.
Alright,
good,
is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second,
Call vote.
yeah.
Yes, meeting adjourned at 7:35 PM.